Now playing the Hook and Bridge podcast.
I fucking love Kesha. I'm telling you, I'm the worst person to have a podcast. I can barely speak.
Oh my god, I love Green Day!
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Hook and Bridge podcast, episode number 34. So, Taylor,
Yes.
how's Christmas going?
It's going all right.
Did you get everything that you wanted for Christmas?
That and more, of course.
What all did you get?
I got a little traveling straightener curling iron duo. It's like a 2-in-1. So that's really nice. What else did I get? I got a little like a pore cleaner, a little pore vacuum for your nose. Got one of those. That was pretty cool. I got a little thing for my laptop. So when I'm typing papers, I can lay down and set my laptop and like type. I got a pink extension cord.
A pink
Or like a power strip.
extension cord?
It's a power strip. Yeah, let me grab it.
Very nice.
Sure, I'm forgetting things. You guys got me that Snoop Dogg book.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. Some of the best recipes on the market in that book.
Some of the best writing is in that book. I think they should teach that in college.
We got a very special episode today.
Very special, very exciting.
We're celebrating Lindsey's dad's birthday.
Whoop,
So
whoop, whoop.
in the middle, we have Lindsey's dad, Jimmy.
Hi, Jimmy.
Oh,
How old did you turn, Jimmy?
54.
50.
Nice. That's a good age.
Next year, get my golden Buckeye card.
Golden Buckeye
Oh.
card. Is that the AARP card?
I don't know. When you turn 55, you get a golden Buckeye card.
You're what?
That's
10
exciting.
years from retirement?
There's no such thing.
Facts.
It won't be a retirement age once I get there.
So we have Lindsey's dad on. We've got Lindsey on. We've got you on. It's Christmas time. We're
It is
out
Christmas
visiting
time.
family. Let's talk about any music news going on right now.
All the
don't think
musicians
so.
are frozen.
At least in the Northeast.
At least. Well, no, it's moving. It's down south. It was 40 degrees today in Florida.
40 in Florida. Wow.
40 in Florida.
I bet Paul's cold.
Paul's cold.
We're introducing a very new fun game today.
Yes.
But since we have you on the show, Jimmy, we're gonna play Take It or Leave It first.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Does he have to talk louder so the microphone can be heard?
No, I'm gonna set it right here and then he can talk. All right.
You gotta turn your sound down.
Don't want.
You gotta tell him the point of the game.
So I'm gonna go through my songs on my phone,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're gonna tell me if you like the song, take it, or if you hate the song, leave it, and then the reason why you like it or why you hate it. So we're gonna go with Down with the Sickness, Disturbed.
I like it. Kind of a different musical genre that I never really listened to before, but I think the more you listen to them, the more you get attached to some of the songs. I mean, I like some of the other songs better than that one, but that's not too bad.
Mhm.
I'd say take it.
All right. How about Into the Ocean, Blue October? Do you know Blue October?
Never heard of that one.
All right. Here you go. Something in Your Mouth, Nickelback. You like Nickelback?
Some songs. I don't know, stuff off their first album, but I never really, I don't think, listened to much after that.
What's the best concert you've ever been to? Like your number one show?
Yeah, you want a group or just
Yeah.
probably Kiss. I mean, that's my all-time favorite. I mean, I've been a fan for
How many times have you seen Kiss?
Well, not sure exactly how many times, but since I was a senior or a junior in high school, which was back in '86, was my first time seeing them.
Damn.
So and I'm not sure how many. I've seen them quite a few times.
Which Kiss show was the best Kiss show
Best
you've been
one,
to?
I would.
Which farewell show?
Well, I would say when yeah, well, I would say when they got back together in 90, 95, 96, when that was the first
yeah,
actual reunion tour, I would say that was probably the best. We were clear at the back of the Civic Arena, about as high as you possibly could go. My aunt was with me. She said, "Man, we're way up high." I said, "I don't care." I said, "I'm here." You know, that was, I grew up listening to them and never got a chance to see him until I was older, but then there was only two original guys left.
Have you been to more concerts than football games?
Oh yeah, for sure.
How so? You obviously been to a Steelers game,
A couple times.
and you've been to a bunch of arenas to see shows.
Mm-hmm.
How terrified are you of being on like the top decks at like sporting events and stuff like that? Like for me, it's terrifying. I hate when I went to the Browns game, I climbed to the third rafter
Mm-hmm.
and like just the looking down and then the wind blows up at you. Like
It's
one wrong
different.
move and you're boom.
I remember as being younger as a kid, my dad and I would go to a lot of baseball games. Been to more baseball games than football games,
Mhm.
but the old Three River Stadium, which of course is not there anymore, but remember we had seats. It was probably close to the top, but you had a roof hanging over the top of it, so it didn't make it like it was that scary. When you
Right.
see some of the stadiums now where you got the real high
Yeah,
the
yeah.
decks, but then you don't really have much of an overhang, and then the people are right along the edge. Now that might be a little. I'd probably be a little scared there. I'm not a big fan of heights, so. But I mean, you know, growing up, yeah, I mean, it seemed pretty steep, but you know, with the big overhangs, it wasn't
Right.
You know, it wasn't that bad because you was not out on the edge anywhere because the Three River Stadium was completely round.
Right, right.
So you didn't have some of the stuff like Heinz. Well, I call it Heinz Field. Of course, it's Acrisure Stadium now, but they have the big sides, and they're not all connected. So yeah, that'd probably be a little spooky up there.
He's a little salty about that new
Yeah,
name.
that's the stupidest thing I ever heard of. It's always been Heinz Field.
How about Let Me Put My Love Into You by AC/DC? Big AC/DC fan?
I like more so with Bon Scott than Brian Johnson.
Mhm.
You could just understand a lot more of the words when Bon Scott was singing compared to Brian Johnson. But that song wasn't bad. I'd say Take It, but I mean I like a lot of the older stuff
Mhm.
compared to the newer stuff. Seen him a couple times, not with Bon Scott, of course,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but it was a pretty good show.
Angus Young puts on a
Oh,
pretty yeah.
Angus is complete nutcase.
Yeah,
Head never stops moving.
All right, and then one more. How about the band Bush, Glycerin from the
I
90s?
don't know if I've heard of the band. I'm not sure if I've ever heard of the song. I mean, I might have heard it, but not know
Yeah,
what the song, you know, the name of it.
How about the Beastie Boys, Fight for Your Right to Party?
That's probably the favorite one.
Do you know any other Beastie Boy songs? Did you listen to the Beastie
Yeah, I
Boys?
mean, the very first album, what it's called, License to Be Ill, I think.
Yeah.
Well, there was Brass Monkey. There was
Girls.
Yeah.
That Funky Monkey.
Yeah.
No Sleep Till Brooklyn.
Yep.
First album was to me probably the best, but
that song Paul Revere I think was on that album too.
Because that was on Guitar Hero or whatever.
I love that album.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that was Take It or Leave It. Everything sound okay on your end, Taylor?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's go ahead and get into this fun game that you have prepared.
Do you want the game or do you want his list?
Let's do the game first.
Okay. So I'm gonna pull this up. Taylor knows what 3 she picked. I know what I picked.
You need to close your eyes so I can pull it up.
Well, I'm gonna explain the game to Jimmy.
Okay,
So
but don't look.
the game is called Whose Musician Is It Anyways? And this is a game that we made up. Basically, they're going to have pictures of musicians and they're going to show it to us. And we are going to try and determine
Taylor, can
which
you see?
band those musicians are from.
Okay. Now, how I need to make this bigger?
Hit the little boxes.
Oh, no, don't look.
Hit the boxes. Yep.
Boxes. And then I need to make this bigger.
Yep.
Like this,
Bring it this way.
but then you can't see.
It's okay.
Okay, so like that.
That's good.
Okay, cool.
All right. So
And
this
lovely
is the,
man.
This is the first one,
This
right?
is the first one. So what will be on the screen? There will be a picture, and the next thing will be the person's name, and then what they do and from what band.
I say we should be allowed to ask 3 questions, just like you would in Guess Who.
But that doesn't guarantee that I know any of the answers to the questions.
Okay.
You can try. I know what bands these people were from. I don't necessarily know what songs that they do,
Okay. So
or at least
since
some
it's
of
your
them.
birthday and I have no fucking idea who this is, you get to go first. And you get 3 questions.
I'm not quite sure who that is either.
Can I guess, or is it just for Harley? And
It's
Jimmy?
just for
Well,
me
this
and
is-
Jimmy this time.
I honestly
Well, this was from me, so Taylor's doesn't know who
Well,
this
yeah.
is either.
So you
don't know
can
who that
guess
is.
technically.
Mm.
It looks. I have no idea.
I will give you one hint. You don't have to ask questions. I'll give you one hint. I will either tell you the initials or I will tell you the name of the band.
Well, it looks like Billy Joel.
To me, it kind of. Well, I mean, it kind of looks like Rick Springfield, but I don't think that
Rick
it is.
Springfield. That's a good
Yeah, I
guess.
don't think that's him.
I also don't think that's him.
I'm not
Okay.
The glasses are throwing me off.
sure.
Do you want the band or do you want
Give me the band.
Steely Dan?
Well, I know
Oh.
Steely Dan, but I'm not sure. I honestly don't know any of the guys from well,
Steely Dan.
one guy I think that was in it that actually had a solo career. I think his name was Jerry Rafferty.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think was in this band, but he had a solo career. I mean, I know a lot of Steely Dan songs, but as far as artists, the people's names, I'm not sure.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought Steely Dan was a person.
No, it's
not
just,
a
the name.
band.
It's just the name of the band. But they had a lot of good music.
This is the drummer from Steely Dan, the second drummer
Yeah, I
from
don't
like
know.
74
Not
to
a
like
clue.
92.
I like a lot of their music, but honestly, the name, a person,
No idea?
no, I have no idea who that is.
Oh, come on. This is Jeff Porcaro.
Never heard of him.
He's the drummer.
I was gonna guess Jeff.
I bet you
No, I
were.
never heard of him.
No, I
know
really
the
was
band.
because I saw Lindsay when she clicked it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't get the last name, only the first.
All right. What's the next
Yeah.
one?
Oh,
Oh, this is easy.
pretty easy. Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
He got first. This one I Taylor. Stevie Wonder.
This is also easy.
Elton John.
Elton John.
No, that's wrong.
That ain't-
Billy
It's Billy
Joel.
Joel.
You're right.
All right, here we go.
Oh, that's
The dude from the Doors.
no, that's
No, it's definitely not Jim Morrison.
no, I know. Wait a minute. That's
Come on, Jimmy.
oh, it's driving.
Jive Turkey.
No,
Give me a decade.
no, that's
60s?
no.
No.
70s.
70s.
From the Bee
It's-
Gees?
No,
Nope.
I know the band. I'm trying to think.
From Pink Floyd?
Nope.
Oh.
Cannot think of. Can't think of his
Phil
name. It's
Collins?
there.
No.
No.
I know his face.
Yeah, you'll know. Shit.
Oh, it's from Kiss.
Nope.
No.
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 nope.
Not even close.
You think I
That
put
is
Kiss
that
up
is
on here?
bad that I cannot. I draw a blank. I know. I'm thinking
Taylor
about. I
Steele
know.
for
That
100.
I keep wanting to say out a name, but I know it ain't. It's not right because he's in the band too. Oh my god!
What's the name of the band?
It's the Eagles. That's the
Eagles.
drummer.
Oh.
That's
Sean
Actually, it's
Fogarty?
not.
Don
It's
Henley.
not the drummer.
Don Henley.
It's Don
It is
Henley.
Don Henley.
Shit.
Don Henley.
It's Don
Technic-
Henley. He was the drummer.
still got
It's
it.
not guitar.
Oh, well.
He played drums.
It-
Oh,
He was the
Google
drummer.
Google said
He also
guitar.
had a solo career.
Yes.
My bad.
He did Dirty Laundry. He had a lot of good songs.
He did. He had a lot of
music.
good songs.
Good singer. Hell of a drummer.
Lindsay can't research. Sorry.
Yeah, he was the drummer. Oh, that's
That's the guy from Ratatouille.
that's the lead singer of the Cars.
What'd you
Taylor
say?
said that's the guy from Ratatouille.
No, that's the lead singer of the Cars. What the hell's his name?
Gary?
No.
No.
Oh my god.
From the Cars.
Cars, yep. He had a hot looking wife and
She's
he's
blonde.
yeah, and he's a complete nerd. What the hell is
usually
his
wears
name?
sunglasses.
He's dead now.
He sort of
yeah,
looks
he-
like our father.
He died in 2019.
Yeah. It's the nose.
If our dad didn't take a route of drugs,
Oh,
this is.
Do you want me to tell you initials?
yeah.
Initials are R.O.
Yeah, Rico Kasich.
Rico Kasich.
Yep.
Nice.
He sung, played guitar, and they also had another guy which is dead from the band. He did a lot of singing too. Benjamin
I remember his name. I don't remember
can't
his
remember
last
his
name. I
last
looked
name.
it up.
Orr. Benjamin Orr.
All right.
Looks like Kenny Rogers.
No, that's
No.
Is this one of Taylor's?
No, this is mine.
Taylor, did you pick the last one?
No.
Who is
I put him in a
that
weird
guy?
order.
Oh,
He looks familiar.
he does. He looks like Kenny Rogers.
It's not Kenny Rogers.
How about Bob Seger? No, it's definitely not
No.
Bob Seger. Shit, his hair looks really familiar.
So this is a more recent picture of this person.
Yeah,
Okay.
but his hair looks really familiar.
I will tell you, this is a person, and the something. But he is not the main person.
Of the band.
Yeah, he is not the main person of the band.
He looks like a main
No.
character.
Deep.
This is the band that you know.
Ugh.
He looks familiar. I can't.
Tom Petty and the
No.
traveling Wilburys.
No.
Tone Deaf Tom Petty.
No. No.
God, who is
Tom Petty. Is he a heartbreaker? Is he one of the heartbreakers? He's one of the heartbreakers.
Uh-huh.
I have no idea any of their names. That's why he looks familiar. He's in the music video.
I'm pretty
He's
sure
the
that's this one.
bass player.
Uh-huh.
Ron Blair. Yeah, that's definitely an older picture. Or newer, I mean, sorry.
And that's it.
That's it?
That's it.
Ron Blair.
Oh. Wow.
That was only six.
Yeah, I can
That's
honestly
what
say
you
I mean, other than Tom Petty, that's
did.
the only one I knew
Yeah.
from the band because he was always the front man. He's the one who always got
Well,
the.
He was in the Learning to Fly music video in the beginning. Because it comes out and it's the do, 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 do.
Couldn't tell you. Don't know.
He also sort of looked like the bass player from Kansas,
Yeah.
Billy Greer.
Yeah.
Kansas.
It's one like George Thorogood and the Delaware Destroyers. You know him, but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't know any other musicians. Like who knows? But
Well, he loves Tom Petty, so I figured he would
well,
know
I like
who-
Tom Petty
I
too.
figured
But
he would know who that is.
I
Guess
mean,
not.
you just don't hear the
Right.
names because
You know the
you
faces, you just don't
Tom
know the
Petty,
names.
He gets
Yeah.
really all of the or most of the
So how
attention.
so if because musicians are dying off left and right, who's your bucket list you haven't seen yet that you want to go see before they're gone?
A certain person or
Yeah.
a band.
Yeah, just a musician.
Mm,
Even if they're not doing anything anymore. Somebody that you know is still alive, that if they like announced like this person is gonna do one last stretch of 10 shows, one bucket list.
well, I mean, I've got a bucket list of bands, but I mean, if a
Well,
certain, I
band
mean, yeah,
too,
a certain
yeah.
individual.
They would be in that band.
Yeah,
but
I mean, always wanted to see Iron Maiden.
Mhm.
Never got to see them. I've been to a lot of shows, seen, I mean, numerous opening bands and stuff that.
Have you seen Metallica?
No, I'd like to see them.
I'd like to see
I would
They're
Metallica.
in concert.
We should go.
I'd like to
with
see Metallica,
with fuck Cowboys from Hell,
Pantera.
Mhm.
and it's got Zach Wild is in Pantera right now. We should definitely go.
I mean, Iron Maiden was a band I always wanted to see. Metallica, I wanted to see. Rat, back in the day, never got a chance to see them.
Fucking
And then
Rat.
Wasp.
I love
Of
Wasp.
course, Wasp is they're on tour right now, but I don't think
anywhere around.
they're over here yet. They started a tour over in in other
England,
countries,
yeah.
but yeah, I've always wanted to see them.
Mhm.
They're crazy. I mean, they're
I
more
think
of the stage presence like Kiss was. That
yeah.
was, you wanted to see as close as you possibly could to see the presentation, because 80% or bigger, that was why you went and seen them.
Right.
Because of what they did on stage. I mean, you can listen to music anywhere. Somebody, well, just go sit in the grass and see them. I can do that at home for nothing. You can listen to any of the music all day long. You want to go see the presentation. That's why you want to try to get as close as possible.
Well, and that's kind of why if I do go see a band and they sound too much like their album, I don't want to pay to see that.
Yeah.
I would rather a band sound like shit and me be able to be like, oh, they sound horrible live, than be like they sound exactly like they do on their album.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you want it close. I mean, it's not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
But I've seen some bands that was really good live, and I've seen some bands that
Well, just throw something in different. You know what I mean?
We went and saw Motley Crue when it was Crue Fest.
Terrible.
I mean, you couldn't have counted how many people sat down when they got on stage because so many people were so upset.
And I'd seen them in the past a couple times, and they was really good.
But that was his prime.
Until they got, started having their issues. And I mean, Vince Neil now is
a woman.
Yeah, well, I mean, he sings, but he doesn't finish his lyrics when he's singing. No. He just trails off, and there's so much that's just left out.
But in his defense, he also did that in the recordings. If you can, there's a YouTube
some
video.
Of the songs was hard to understand what he said, but most of them was screaming anyway. But hey, it was a good guitar riffs. And, and
the rest of the
drumming,
band.
I mean,
the rest of the band was talented.
Was phenomenal.
But the band itself was okay when we went and saw them.
Well, there's a YouTube video that you can pull. And it's the vocals separated from the rest of the recording. It's Vince Neil, right? Vince Neil's vocal. And it's just like nonsensical. Like he doesn't enunciate any of his words. And most of the time it's like mumbling, like he's not actually saying anything.
Well, they got the guitars and the amps and everything turned up so loud. The distortion. It's.
But I think a lot of that is to hide his voice because he's a shitty singer.
Oh yeah, he was never the best, but he fit that.
He fit the image.
Those
guys. He fit the image. He was a
he had the
boy
looks,
in the 80s.
He was,
definitely not anywhere past 2005. He was not pretty after that.
He's a beautiful woman.
They've had their fair share of problems.
Definitely Metallica is on my list.
Oh, yeah.
And then Eric Clapton, just before he dies, I gotta see Eric Clapton at some point. Anyways, let's get into this list. So, Taylor, we know you love lists.
I love a good list.
Christmas season. And what better list to have on Jimmy's birthday?
Jimmy's super spectacular,
super special, spectacular birthday episode.
Yeah.
For his episode, we're doing a list of the top 10 Kiss songs.
According to
Yeah.
Yes.
Kiss expert.
I mean, he's in Kiss at this point.
The captain of the Kiss Army.
Yeah, right.
You got to be like a lieutenant or something at this point. Do they give you badges? That seems like a Gene Simmons thing.
That's when you get the tattoos.
Well, yeah, I mean, I got a couple of tattoos, but there's people out there far more
rich
far more into them than me. I mean, I'm not I guess a fanatic. I mean, they're my favorite. I like, there actually is probably very few songs. I'm not saying I dislike, but that I maybe not like as much as others. But I've listened to everything. I mean, to me everything was good.
Yeah. Have you heard the new Metallica song?
Oh yeah, it's not bad.
You like it?
Yeah, it's
I
different.
hate it. I can't
You don't like
stand
it?
No.
It's different.
It is. It's different.
I think it actually kind of sounds because when they got their other bass player, the Truello or
the big bulky,
but
Indian
they kind of
guy.
went back old school with the real fast,
the thrashier
playing.
sound.
That because that's when they really first started out. And I honestly never liked Metallica until, and even it was kind of a thrash was and Justice for All was when I actually started listening to them. Listened to a little bit of the beginning stuff from Master of Puppets and Ride the Lightning and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I actually started listening to them on a cassette tape. Yeah, if everybody remembers what those are. But it was a chrome tape, and I wore that thing out to the point where you could not read what was on the tape.
Right.
I mean, but I knew what it was, but it just got to the point where it just quit playing altogether, and you couldn't. It was real slow, and it just wore it out. If that's possible, but I guess it was.
Man.
But this new song to me kind of goes back to like the Black Album, kind of where it's not really.
Think?
I think so. It's not.
It felt more.
It's
like
not really
Reload to me.
It's not really the thrash stuff. But when they did the Black Album, you was actually able to understand them a little more when they sung, because the other stuff they were screaming, they're just crazy, playing the bass chords or power chords or whatever you want to call it. But to me, that's kind of what it's kind of went back to. That
they're much older; they can't do.
Oh, you're right. I mean,
the
singing. I mean, James Hetfield is still a hell of a singer, still a hell of a good musician.
Yeah. But they changed their tone. Same thing with Godsmack. Like they changed the tone to because right now what's in is that like electronic metal. So they have this like need from a producer or somebody is pushing these metal bands to put in these guitar tones that are not natural. And I pick it out every time and I hate it. Like that new Godsmack song blows. I fucking hate that.
I like that. I mean,
it's better than the last popular Godsmack
not
song.
by much.
No, but in my opinion, it's better.
I miss Oracle.
Yeah.
They really plateaued at Oracle.
I like Faceless. That's my favorite.
Yeah, Faceless was great.
That's my favorite.
Godsmack 4 was okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was probably
but Oracle with that Crying Like a Bitch and the Devil's Swing.
Horsepower was also really good.
It was, but that was the transition. That they had a couple of songs on that one. They were like pushing more into that mainstream sound, and that next album after that, Scars or whatever, was garbage.
I know. I mean, I've listened to them ever since the early to mid '80s, and some people may, listen to like the Christian heavy metal, I guess you call me, and the Striper. You listen to them then, and to me, you listen to them now, and they just keep getting better as they get older.
Yeah, some bands have been.
It's just what they've done from then to now is just amazing. I mean,
like Greta Van Fleet. Greta Van Fleet is getting a lot better now that they've steered away from like we're just Led Zeppelin with new people to developing their own sound.
Yeah.
They've gotten so much better.
I didn't like them at the beginning because I don't really like Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Well, some of their stuff was okay. I mean,
it's just not my kind of style.
The studio stuff to me was probably the best. I mean, the live versions of some of the stuff, which they kind of did the same thing like Motley Crue does. I mean, it was really hard to understand them, and they didn't finish the lyrics and stuff. But they disbanded when John Bonham died. They never had anybody to fill him. But I mean, they could go back and do that. And Jason Bonham, his son, I mean, he's a hell of a drummer.
He's a hell of a drummer. All right, so Taylor, I know you don't know a lot of Kiss songs.
No, but that's okay.
But we're gonna go ahead and get into this list. Now I'm not gonna peek at the list. So start with number 10 and work your way up to the best song. So whatever you think the best song is goes last.
All right.
And then we three are going to rate them on a scale of 1 to 5.
I would say number 10. I mean, there's so many. Of course, I like the classic Kiss more so than, I'm more partial to that when they had the original guys, but the other musicians did a fair job.
Mhm.
But when you got the original guys, there's just in their prime, they was at the top of the heap. I mean, it was hard to
Right.
not to be able to top them. But I would say number 10 would be "I Stole Your Love," which was classic Kiss. That was all 4 original people, probably from that had to have been like 77, I think.
I don't think I know this song.
I Stole You. It's off the Love Gun album. It's very good.
Well, then I would know this song. I wish you could sing it, but you can't.
Yeah, you
we'll
can't.
We'll get copyrighted.
Well, you can't anyways, because Gene Simmons will have my ass in court.
Yeah, it was.
He will.
It was sung by Paul Stanley. They said it was.
Oh yeah.
It was. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was
I know that song.
It was all 4 originals.
Yeah.
It was. Actually, in the album, I used to have it. I don't know whatever happened to it. The Love Gun album, they had a paper gun.
Oh, really?
That you'd pull the trigger and it would shoot out the end. It would kind of open up, and I think it said "bang" on it or something.
That's
but it was
awesome.
Love Gun.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
That's cool.
yeah. It was,
They would.
I do believe it was 77 was the Love Gun album.
I
And
a lot of
that
the
would be
songs off
awesome.
there.
I give it
to
a 5. That's my favorite album.
Give it a 5.
But between that and Animalize.
I love the Love Gun album. I'm gonna give it a 4 just because it's not my favorite song in that album.
I'll give it a 3. I feel indifferent.
That means Taylor doesn't know it.
Right.
I don't know that song.
It's a
I'm
good
sorry.
song. I said it's all 4 originals. Very good song.
Oh, you know who loves Kiss is Mom.
Yeah.
Mom does love Kiss. Mom's sleeping though.
Oh, okay, never mind.
It's 10:45.
It's past.
Oh, wow.
It's past Mom's bedtime.
All right,
Guys, it's getting so cold.
Say number 9 would be "I Love It Loud."
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That's from the Creatures of the Night album.
Mhm.
3 out of the 4 originals left. Drummer was Eric Carr, replaced Peter Criss. Still had makeup on.
Yeah.
That was a good song.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give that one a 3 too. There's some real good songs coming up.
You're not supposed to look at the list.
I know. I cheated.
You peaked.
I did.
Cheater.
I give it a 5.
A 5?
It's one of my favorite songs.
If my
I'll give it a 4.
That's I listed a lot of that.
Giving it
stuff.
a 4?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You know that song?
No.
That's another good one. A good
No,
video.
actually, I think I do. I
you
think
do.
I do know that song.
Gene,
I do think
Gene
you do.
Simmons he sings that song. Good. That was what 83, 82, 83, I think was when that came out. Good album.
All right. What's next?
Number 8, I would say "Creatures of the Night," which was the lead song from that album. Which that was the name of the album, was "Creatures of the Night." That was a good song. That was the opening track.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I
It
know
has a good,
the
real
song.
heavy drum intro.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good intro song to the album. I'll give you that.
I give it a 3. It's not my favorite. That's one of my least favorite songs. I don't know
Yeah.
probably even a quarter of all of the actual Kiss songs.
I'm
But
gonna give it a 3 as well. Like I said,
feeling different.
I don't feel.
I'm gonna give it a
indifferent.
3.
I don't feel indifferent about it. It's just it is a great open to like if you're sitting and writing an album and you're trying to think of an opening track because you want that track to be captivating from the start, especially back then because people weren't buying a track.
Right.
They were buying the album. So
Right.
the first sound that they're going to hear and albums then were expensive, right? I mean, it wasn't, a
Yep.
quarter.
Yeah,
So
they were
that might
expensive.
be the only album that a family has for 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
So when you turn that on, you want that to be the sound. So
Right.
I'm gonna give it a 3 just because out of all of their catalog, the song itself isn't strong, but it is strong on that album.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What's
I would
next?
say-
I'm gonna give it a 3.
Number 7, I would say Rock and Roll All Night. That's their
5.
that's their
I think she
their
knows that
anthem song.
Yeah.
That they come out. They ended the show with that. Lots of confetti and
Mhm.
lots of explosions.
As a diehard Kiss fan, you gotta get tired of that song, right?
No,
No?
no. It just
As a diehard Pink Floyd song, when Another Brick in the
Fan.
Wall, or yeah, a diehard Pink Floyd fan, when Another Brick in the Wall Part 2 comes on, I want to gouge my eyes out. I'm like, I can't stand hearing this
well,
song.
I mean, at the end of
So
the night,
good.
that was the very, very last song to be played. I mean, it was
Right,
usually
right.
one of 2 or 3 songs that come back out with the encore.
Yeah.
But as soon as there was confetti everywhere. They'd get on their risers and they'd rise up. The drums would rise up and they have all these fireworks. And that's when whatever pyro they have left,
Right.
I mean, they blow it all right there. I mean, you leave out of there and your ears are ringing.
Can't
It
hear
is so
I
loud.
am gonna give this song a 5 just because of Guitar Hero 3. Shout out to Uncle Schlee.
Uncle
Uncle Shlee.
I played that for a summer at his house, and I sucked at it at the time. So he would come home and he would sit there and watch me play that song like 15 times in a row on guitar.
Side note, on the podcast, when we talk about our family members, we have to give them a name because, we can't say their actual name because then people will figure out who we are.
Okay.
So
like you would be Shimmy
Shimmy.
instead of Jimmy.
Okay.
but everybody knows him now because he's been on the podcast.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Taylor, you gave it a 5. I gave it a 5.
Oh, 5.
You gave it a 5?
I give it 10.
A 10.
It's one of my faves.
All right.
When he was describing the whole confetti thing, you can't see because I have a sweater on, but I got goosebumps because it's the moment.
Amazing. I
It's
mean,
the moment.
it's just unbelievable. You have to be there to experience
Right,
it.
right.
I mean, I've got a lot of videos, cassettes, DVDs of them, and everything they've ever put out. But that's just something you have to be there when they play that song because it's just the place is. I mean, nobody on their seats. They're all standing up. When you're on the floor, you're standing on chairs. It's just unbelievable. You just can't explain what it's like without actually being there
Right.
and witnessing it. It's just unbelievable.
All right. What do we got next?
I'd say number 6 would be War Machine.
I love that song.
Which is actually off of Preachers of the Night also. Good song. Gene Simmons sings that. Good heavy riff.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of it's what's that?
I don't think I know that song.
I'm sure you've heard it.
It's one of their heavier.
It's a heavy
songs.
song.
Yeah.
It's a real heavy bass line.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, that's a different drummer because Peter Criss was gone
No.
then.
Mhm.
At that time, they would have been competing against like Ozzy, right? So they were probably trying to
that was
put something that's a little heavier on the market.
Because they started in
73.
73.
Yeah.
So they were kind of competing against him basically the whole time.
Yeah, but at that point in history, Ozzy was like
big,
huge.
Yeah, Ozzy never really got. He got more so, big once he went in his solo. He was. Not I'm not taking anything away from when he was in Black Sabbath, but
right.
I think he became more of a popular artist by going out on his own because he had a lot of good musicians that had played with him over the years, but he put out a lot of good music. I like Ozzy Osbourne more so as a soloist compared to being a Black Sabbath. Now I like some of the Black Sabbath songs, but him as a solo artist was unbelievable. Now I wouldn't mind going to see him.
Yeah.
But
he's not doing too hot.
Oh no,
he's still putting out new tracks though.
Still putting out new music.
He's got that song with Posty Maloney, Taylor.
Yes.
I
don't know what song we're talking about.
Over here.
Yeah, I'm focused on my nose not falling off at the moment.
Well, I'm gonna give that one a 4 on my
I give
end.
it a 3.
3.
3.
3.
I feel indifferent.
All right. So number 5.
Number 5, I want to say Tears Are Falling, which is actually off of Asylum. That was the first tour when I said I was a junior in high school in '86. That was when that album came out. That was my first concert. And my Aunt Shirley give me money to buy the ticket to go see him. We bought the ticket off of scalpers outside. I think we paid $20 a piece, and this is '86. The ticket price on the ticket was $12.50 for floor seats in '86.
What?
I still have the ticket laminated somewhere. Yeah, $12.50 is what it costs being on the floor.
That ticket would cost you probably $1,500 now, Taylor.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that was my first concert. Was the Asylum tour. Good show.
I'm gonna give that one a 3. It's a good song. It's not. I would have even said, "I Love It Loud" would have been higher on that list.
But that's your opinion.
I know. That's what this is. This is my show. It's my opinion.
Hey, it's a shared show.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's our show.
She's on there.
It's a cow farm.
Of course, that was only two original members of the band then,
right?
Which still is now. Peter, Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons. They had Eric Carr still, and Bruce Kulick was the lead guitarist. Good guitarist.
What do you give it?
I give it a 10. It's one of my favorites.
What do you give it, Taylor?
I give it a 3. Lindsey knows.
Yeah.
No, I feel like I would know a lot of these if I listened to the music. I don't know them by name.
Yeah, that song was big when you used to have the top 10 every day on when MTV was cool. When they actually played music. Oh, well, I mean, it was. No, I mean, it was. MTV back in the day, that's all they played music constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Then it just got overtaken by all this stupid shit.
Right.
It's not even fun anymore. I mean, MTV, I could sit there and watch it all day long. It was fantastic. It was great.
All right. Mm-hmm. So these next 4, these are
classics.
Tickets.
These are classics. These are deep cuts.
So what do we got at number 4?
Number 4 is Black Diamond.
See, that one I would have said would be number 2, but then I remembered they got all these other great songs.
That is classic Kiss. Probably have that was actually that song was when I first heard. Well, no, actually, I'm not. That's the second song, but I mean, Paul Stanley and Ace Frehley did a lot of the I don't know how you want to call it. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. They play
harmonic guitar,
right?
Yeah,
and they play it in those songs, and it was just unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
The solo in this song by Ace is amazing.
Yeah,
and it was sung by Peter Criss, with the drummer, sung this song.
I would give Black Diamond a 5.
That was a good song.
I give it a 10.
I give it a 4. I know this one.
Yay!
It's a good song.
Yeah.
Number 3, I'm actually surprised about though.
Parasite. That's good.
I would have thought. I would have thought Heaven's on Fire. Beth.
Beth was. I mean, I can listen to it, but it's not.
It's not them.
No, it was actually only Peter Criss. He brought the song in. Right. And none of the other band played on the song.
Right.
It was all done by an orchestra and him playing the piano. That was it. And actually, he come in with the song. He said, it was called Back. And Gene Simmons says, "Who the hell's that? Who's that about?" He said, "It's about Becky, man." He said, "Oh." He says, "You better change that song to Beth." He said, "They might think you're pitching for the other team," which was Jeff. He said, "Who the hell's that about? Jeff Beck?" He said, "No, it's about Becky." He said, "Oh, no, you better change it." And actually, that was a B-side of Detroit. I do believe Detroit Rock City. And this radio station flipped it over because they said they thought that was a song that was never had a chance. Hell, it ended up being their
one
greatest
of their biggest hits. Yeah.
So
I only like it because Peter Criss is one of my favorite members because he's the cat man and I like cats.
I like it because I like sad songs.
Well,
and that's their sad song.
Yeah.
But I would still Parasite's still a great song. I'd give it a 4.
Parasite was a good heavy riff back to early Kiss. Good song.
Taylor?
A 3.
God of Thunder's also not on here.
I'm surprised at that.
I'm really surprised at that.
I mean, I said there's just so many, but these are just some of my favorites.
That was always one of his favorite to sing in the car on the way to school. Taking us to school though, and with his face, you go.
You know, you go. It's just these are my go-tos.
Dr. Love also isn't on here.
Hey, I mean, I'm saying it's a good song. There's just so many. I like a lot of Kiss, but these are just my go-to songs that I like to touch on.
Number two is my favorite Kiss song.
Is Love Gun from the album Love Gun.
Taylor,
good song.
You know this song. You know the movie Role Models? You remember that movie, Role Models? We used to watch it all the time.
I think you're saying roll weird.
Roll.
You're saying role models.
Role Models.
Yeah. I know. It's a great movie. I love that movie.
But remember they're in the van, and the little kid's like, who's these girls? And he's like, you don't know Kiss? And then he puts on Love Gun, and he's like, see, Rodney, the gun in his dick.
That's what it was. That was what it was written about.
Yeah.
But that opening riff,
Hey, we're gonna get sued.
Yeah, it's a good song.
That one's a 10 for me.
Yeah. Heaven's on Fire's not on here, and that's my favorite.
That's my mom's favorite song too.
My mom liked that song.
I would have gave it a 20.
It's the scream in the beginning. All the girls love that scream.
That was Kiss without makeup.
Yeah.
That was Animal Eyes album.
That's my favorite.
84.
So number one on the list.
All-time favorite.
I don't think this is a surprise by any means. Taylor, if you had to guess what song by Kiss is on the number one slot.
There's only one other Kiss song that I know for a fact I know, and I can't remember the name of it. But in my head, I'm going to say it's that song.
Starts with a D.
Ends with a Troy.
Is it called Detroit?
Yeah, Detroit Rock City. That's my favorite all time, hands down.
Yeah. A lot of times they open with it.
Yeah.
They open with, that is when you know a band is legendary. Yeah. When they can walk out and open with the song and be like, we're just getting started.
Right. Oh, yeah.
You're hanging in for 2 more hours.
I've seen them other times where most of the times I've ever seen them, they opened up with a song, but there's been other times where they opened up with other songs. But this, when they open up with this, the place is just...
Oh, yeah.
It's nuts.
The energy has got to be through the roof at that point.
It's unbelievable. But the song was actually written by a youth in Detroit that was going to a Kiss show. And if you listen to the original song, because it comes off the song or the album Destroyer, and it's the title track, it's the opening song, and they have... where you can actually hear a truck driving.
Yeah.
And you hear a kid getting in a car. Right? And that's what it was. The kid died on the way to a Kiss show. And that was what the song was written about.
Then they made a movie.
Detroit Rock City.
And it's a great movie.
Oh, that was good.
It's a great movie. I've seen it one time.
Yep.
It's a great movie.
Man.
It had, who was...
Oh, I don't remember their names.
The one guy was the one that played in...
he was in
American History X. He was in it.
I don't know.
And then the drummer, the blonde-haired guy, the kid, I can't think of what his name. He's played in other stuff. I can't think of what the hell his name was, but he was in it. And actually, in that movie was you see Gene Simmons' wife, Shannon Tweed, is in it.
Oh yeah.
She buys that kid a bunch of booze and stuff, and he gets sick. She says, no, I don't. You don't need to get a whiskey dick or something like. You can't get it up. He's getting drunk. He's puking all over the place as he's dancing up on top of the stage. Yeah, but Shannon Tweed's in that movie, and Kiss has a cameo in it.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
But yeah, that's probably my all-time favorite. I mean. Like I said, there's so many. I mean, they've got 40 plus albums, there's so many. Now, I can honestly say when they come out with this album a few years back called Monster, Was never really a big fan of that. I mean, I got it, bought it.
We went on that tour.
It was okay. Of course, they have Eric Singer as the drummer now, and Tommy
Which he
Thayer.
isn't bad.
No, he's been with them ever since Eric Carr passed away.
Yeah.
Since the Revenge album.
Right.
And he had, the long blonde hair and stuff.
Right.
And he's from Cleveland.
Yeah.
And he'd seen Kiss. He grew up a Kiss fan.
Right.
He's
like a quarter of all of their age.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
he's a lot younger than
them. Yeah. Tommy Thayer, he was actually in a band back in the 80s called Black and Blue. He played in, and he was he actually when they got back together and it was going good for a while, and then they kind of Ace and Peter kind of resorted back to the old ways, which kind of what happened again, Ace being late, not showing up, this and that or whatever, and they actually had Tommy Thayer filling in for him numerous times, and but I would have honestly, it was kind of I don't know. I think kind of a raw deal when they did the unplugged thing, when they brought Peter, Chris, and Ace Frehley back, and they had Eric Singer and then Bruce Kulick, and they all was out there playing. And they said, "Hey, this worked really good." They had a big response from the crowd. Let's do a reunion tour. Well, then they come out with an album called Carnival of Souls. I don't know if you've ever heard. That
Psycho
was
Circus, right?
Huh?
No, not Psycho Circus.
No, it was actually called Carnival of Souls. The last sessions.
Yeah,
it was just. I mean. It was Kiss like you never heard them. Yeah. Real heavy, grungy style stuff. I mean, like they come out like, what the hell is this shit? But I mean, some of the songs were really good, but it was called the final session. So that was the end of those particular time before they got in the other ones. But then they brought back Eric Singer to get dressed up as Peter Criss. I wish they would have. I mean, I don't know if they actually asked him, Bruce Kulick, if he wanted to do it, but he just acted like he didn't want to be, he wasn't interested in it.
Right.
Maybe he had a sour taste because of the way stuff went down, and these guys were just kind of shoved off to the side when they brought back the originals. But, that's what the people wanted. I honestly, growing up, like, I'll never see Kiss with makeup. I said it'll never happen. But I went and seen them, and then they announced the reunion tour. Like, I actually seen them twice on that same tour. And Shirley and I went to see them at the Civic Arena when it was still there. And then they come back around, April the following year in 97, did like a Lost Cities thing, smaller places. They was down into the Wheeling Civic Center. We went down there and seen them it was on the same tour.
Well, that is Jimmy's super spectacular special birthday playlist.
Yay!
So I see you have a shirt over here. Were you wanting to show this off?
I want to show the decal, not necessarily the shirt.
Is this what the fans can expect?
That is what the fans can expect.
If they have money.
We got merch coming soon. Merch coming soon. You can get that shirt for yourself someday.
Cups.
We're gonna have cups. We're gonna have t-shirts, backstage lanyards, all kinds of great stuff. So, anyways,
exciting.
Jimmy, thanks for being on the show, man.
You're very welcome. I enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Does Jimmy have anything coming up that we should know about?
You got any events coming up? You playing anywhere anytime soon?
No.
His napping chair. But we have a
napping chair is taken over by the dog.
Sorry. We brought our dogs to visit family with us.
She don't fit that chair.
Yeah, she's large. We have a new thing starting that Jimmy is going to do called Jimmy's Corner. And they're going to be short little things about just random music that Jimmy wants to talk about.
Yeah, so they're going to be 1-minute clips. Jimmy's just going to give his opinion on some music stuff. It could be a song, could be a band, could just be a genre of music, could be literally anything, just for a minute. And then Lindsey's going to get them, and we're not going to watch them or listen to them until the show. It's going to be played on the show, and we're going to react to it live.
Can you guys see my breath?
Not on camera.
I can see my breath.
11 degrees.
So I believe it is promo poly time.
Okay. Hang on.
Promo Frozen Polly.
Promo Frozen Polly. All right.
Popsicle.
Oh. All right, guys. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button, and also hit that bell notification so you can be notified anytime we post a new video.
All right. I know it's cold, Taylor, so we'll wrap it up. It's been real, everybody.
Cold.
Thanks for listening. Peace.